Hey, Brett here. I'm going to go through a simulation of a class I'm going to teach live on the 27th of December, coming up in a week and a half. And then I'm going to actually do the some actual stretching. The class is Science of Stretching for Tai Chi and Bagua. And I've taught it a few times, and this is the second version of the class. So I'm going to go ahead and go as if I'm going through the class. I'm going to go through all the poses. I'm just not going to hold them. And then at the end, after I've gone through this whole sequence that I've got written down here, I'm going to do some real stretching. All right. And here we go. Okay, everybody, welcome to class. Let's go ahead and just get in a nice, comfortable standing position, feet about hip width apart, knees bent. If you can, take your tailbone and tuck it under a little bit. Now, what you might see, or what you might try to do, is you take your sacrum and you push it down, and as you do, it might come under. What you're really trying to do is you're trying to bring your pelvis up, trying to get your pelvis tilted forward. Now, another thing you might try, and this is something is that you may or may not make sense, externally rotate your thighs as well. So you're opening up here, and you should feel some weight in your heels. Okay, great. So now let that relax and then just sort of bounce like that. Just bounce, bounce, shake. This is great to stimulate your lymphatic system. When we talk about movement is medicine, this is a great version of that. If you can't do inversions, this does about as good a job as inversions for moving stuff around your system, cleaning up old waste materials from injuries and just inflammation. Shaking is good to do. Right. So now let's go ahead and go back to that footwork for a second. We'll build up what's called Wu Chi. Uh, this is for you non-Tai Chi folk. This is the starting position, and the philosophical state of Wu Chi is before Tai Chi. And Tai Chi is the grand ultimate or the balance of yin and yang. Wu Chi is the lack of separation. So this is singularity. Tai Chi is duality. But in any case, feet parallel, knees bent. Push your sacrum down, tuck under. Again, the hip thing. Now, your fontanelle, right above where your ears sort of come, the tops of your ears, there's a soft spot on the baby's head. There's the nine bones come together. Imagine there's a balloon pulling you up. I want you to actually extend your spine by pushing up your head, and then you've got your tailbone tucked. Now, take your arms, rotate them internally. This relaxes the ligaments on the inside, which allows your chest to sink down. So let's shake that out and try that again. Okay, so feet parallel, knees bent. Get a little bit closer. For the purpose of this one, I don't know, I'm going into so much detail, but I just love this stuff so much. So heck with it. I'm going to do this in full, and then we'll worry about doing stuff in summary later. Okay, so feet parallel, knees slightly bent, sacrum. Take that thing and try to sort of push it down. And as you do, you might feel some strain on the front here. That's great. That's exactly what you want to feel. And hopefully you feel pressure in your heels. All right, great. Now, if you can, externally, basically, I'm taking my butt cheeks, I'm almost pushing my butt cheeks together and taking my thighs and externally rotating them. This locks in the legs. This is the first bow in Tai Chi. This is your stable base. I am now engaged with Mother Earth. I am connected. Right, this is rooting as well, part of rooting. Fontanelle, up. That extend your spine. Also, if in fact, just watch. See, this is subtle movement, but if I'm gonna sort of relax here for a second. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and extend my spine and just watch what happens. I'm not moving my spine. That's my body's weight realigning itself. So I've extended my spine, which is really good to get synovial fluid in between your spinal, your discs. And now I'm going to try to ro internally rotate my arms, medial rotation, and relax my chest in to push my chest into my pelvis, which is tucked up. So I'm basically taking, imagine a broomstick, a broom head. This is the broom head. This is the broomstick. You're putting the broom head in the broomstick. Other way around, broomstick in the broom head. Okay, I can't go into that this long in the class. It's not realistic. This isn't a Tai Chi class, so I'm going to jump on. Note to self, a lot more superficial. Superficial is not, don't mean that in a, don't mean it in a mean way. Just that's just way too much detail. Okay. Okay, so now let's go through some basic exercises to warm our body. We're going to start by coordinating our breath and our movement. Now, breath is going to be important throughout this. Right now, we're going to try to coordinate our breath and our movement, and we're going to try to breathe relatively slowly. That's going to calm us down. Later on, we're going to use our breath to program our autonomic system to be okay with discomfort. That is, we're going to be doing some neural hacking. But for right now, let's just coordinate our breath and our movement. So get back to a nice stable base, relaxed arms. Inhale and reach up. Look up. Now imagine you're grabbing a ball of energy and then just pull that ball down as you exhale. Okay, now let's inhale one more time. Inhale and imagine around you is energy and you're forming a huge ball of energy. And as you bring your arms together and inhaling, you're making a bright light, brighter, gets brighter and brighter. And now take that bright light. And as you do so, imagine it illuminates your skull, your chin, your face, your chin, your throat, your collarbone, your chest, your arms, etc. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up, grab a ball of energy. And now this time, I want you to exhale and push it all the way through your body. And as it goes down, exhale down. As you go through your feet, imagine that light goes into white roots growing into the ground. And now you're forming the roots of a tree. Now, as you continue reaching down, inhale. Imagine there's a huge green ball of energy at the center of the earth. Pull that ball of energy up and bring that green light up your body as you exhale. And pause and inhale and exhale. Let's do it again. Reach down into the earth as you inhale. Grab a ball of energy, exhale, pull it up to your middle, but don't pull the kitty up with you. Inhale, exhale. Okay, so we just moved up and down, got our body warmed up a little bit. Now, next thing I want you to do is I want you to get back to a strong, stable base. I want you to relax your arms. So no, just relax your arms as much as you can. Let them just wiggle. And here's what I want you to do. Just turn your waist side to side and let your arms move a little bit. Really relax your arms as much as you can. Want your arms to be wet noodles. Now, I call this noodly arms as an homage to one of the principles we're going to be talking about. I already talked about breath. That breath is going to be important. We'll come back to that. Relaxation is important. Flexibility, deep flexibility in the muscles uses the same fibers that strength does. So you can imagine strength is yang, flexibility is yang in a most anatomical and literal sense. So being able to relax your body is going to be key. We want to relax the muscles we're stretching. So we'll come back to that. Now, what I want to do is I want you to find a small circle because we're going to do something like this. We're going to walk in a circle, but I want you to do something. I want you to, first of all, stand with your shoulder to the center of the circle. Now, it can be a small circle. Bend your knees, tuck your tailbone. This is the important part. I want you to turn at your hips, turn at your waist, and don't worry about the hands too much. Let's just sort of take your hands and sort of pushing down, like we're holding something down. And then I want you to look over your shoulder as you walk in a circle. This is really good for your spine. We were shaking earlier. This gentle stepping while you're doing this with the spine. Well, I'll just say in 2 weeks of doing this, say 5 minutes a day, I got to the point where I could just crack my collarbone and relieve tension just by shrugging my shoulders. And it's really wonderful. So this will really, it's a very subtle movement, but if you do it slow enough, now let's go ahead and turn around and do the other direction. So again, I want you to basically turn at your waist, turn at your hips, then your waist, look over your shoulder, and then walk in the other direction. So this little twisting we're doing here, it's really good for your spine, really good for your nervous system. And again, let's see. Oh, no, they didn't pop this time, but they typically do. Oops, almost got lost there. Okay, so now, last thing I want to do is another shake before we get into some stretching. So again, just sort of shake that out. We were just sort of going in circles. This is kind of linear. Our body's more used to this, so we're sort of getting ourselves back into linearity. Okay, Now, here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to start, generally speaking, we're going to work feet up. This first stretch, we start in a standing position. So I didn't want to go from the ground back standing up. So we're going to do this one first. We're going to stretch our spine and we're just going to stretch our hamstrings on this one. So here's what I want you to do. You might want a prop, like a chair in front of you. To get into this, stand with your hands hovering over this, and this is optional. We're going to basically do a forward fold. If you know what that is and you don't need a prop, don't use it, but always use props over not using props. I'll talk more about that later. So bend your legs deeply, put your chest as close as you can on, and this might be exactly where you're at. You're getting a good stretch if you're doing this. In fact, I'm getting a nice stretch here. Slowly over time, you want to move your legs up a little bit, but always probably going to want to keep a bend. If you keep a bend, it moves the stretch more into the belly of the hamstring. And then maybe eventually you can interlace your arms. Time passes. Okay, now to come out of this pose, put your hands on the ground first. Bend your knees deeply. Take your left hand, put it above your left knee. Take your right hand above your right knee. Push up. Do not, in principle, anytime, use the muscles you just stretched to get out of the pose. Now, once you fully stretch, you should be fine. And we're not doing these long enough where it's going to be truly destabilizing. But 3 minutes, 4 minutes, you start to destabilize muscles. So just be careful about that. Come out of things slowly. Also, I'm old. So maybe you're young, you don't have to. Okay, next one. One of the things that's important about balance is being able to control both gripping with your toes, believe it or not, gripping with your toes, and also ankles. If you have good flexion in your ankles, you can squat. But takes time and practice. So we're going to work on our ankles. We're going to do two kinds of stretching. We're going to start by pulling our ankles back, dorsiflexion, and then pointing them, plantar flexion. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, go ahead and curl your toes under and then come back. Now, if you need some pads for your knees, that's great. Over time, as you do this, you'll get used to it and sit back onto your heels. Also, if you cannot go back onto your heels, again, props. Here's absolutely key, absolutely key. It's how it feels, now how it looks. If I use this prop and it allows me to comfortably sit and still get a stretch, and I'm more relaxed, I'm gonna get a deeper stretch. So absolutely, I use props all the time. I've been doing this consistently for about 4 years. I use props every day that I do stretching, which is almost every day. So now curl your toes under. And honestly, this is sufficient. The full version of this pose, you're going to take your hands behind you if you can, and maybe you interlace your hands, or maybe you form palms between your shoulders. So I'll do that. But this took me several years to be able to do, and I still can't do it very well. Again, don't worry how other people look. Don't worry how you look. Worry about what you feel. Okay, let's come out of that. I missed a transition, but that's fine. I'll come back to that. I often forget that. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to curl your toes under, flat, point. Now we're planting, and then just come on back. Again, if you need that pillow, use a pillow, but come on back, come on down, 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 down to your heels. And if you're comfortable here, that's great. We're stretching the front, which this is great for back bends because when you go backwards, you stretch your front. So now, if you're good here, keep your knees together, separate your heels, and continue on down. And if you know this pose, you know what to do next. But honestly, this is great. This is all you need to do. We'll stay here for a little bit. Okay, now to come out of this, put your hands on the ground and push up a little bit. Allow blood to flow back into your knees. Once you have feelings in your knees, maybe lean forward and then go into a tabletop and point it out. Point your toes, point your toes. There you go. Okay, great. Now, the next pose is, well, we're doing two of my favorite. I've got so many favorite poses, but this is like the go-to pose for your hips. If you have tight hips, this pose is going to do the following. It's gonna, on one side at a time, it's gonna stretch the hip flexor. It's gonna stretch the hamstring. So you're going to get that. But it's also going to take your legs and pull them diagonally. So I'm going to do it one way and I'm going to do it another way. So you're doing this and stretching your hips this way and then also getting both hamstrings and hip flexors. This is a beautiful pose. I love it. One of my favorites. So tabletop. I'm going to move to the side here. By the way, this is one other difference. On the live class, I'll have my dogs with me. I won't have Mr. Chesterford here. He will be at home and I will be at class. So tabletop. I'm going to swing my right leg around up to my right hand, take my right foot, rotate it out 45 degrees, slide that back leg back, and then just relax. And then let's go to come out of this, curl your toes under, step back. Now notice we're going to go this pose a second time. This is our first asymmetrical pose. The great thing about asymmetrical poses is you do them twice. The bad thing about them is you do them twice. But if one side is tighter, you can do it longer. So that's great. And also they tend to allow you to get really focused. Now, since I'm not doing the real class, I haven't mentioned a couple of the other principles. I've only talked about them. So time is an important component. In the real stretches, we do these for 2.5 to 5 minutes. 2 minutes is enough to get lasting tissue change. 5 minutes, you'll get really deep into a pose and you will notice big change really fast, but you might take a couple of tries to get to 5 minutes. Anyway, in any case, next pose. Now this next pose, stay on the ground. I want to show you something though. We're basically going to do a squat, but we're going to be in sort of closer to a tabletop. So this is what it kind of looks like, but we're going to be in a different position to gravity. So my feet, I'm going to rotate out. Now, I'm actually going to try to rotate them all the way out, but if I do that too far, I'm going to fall in a standing position. And then I'm sitting in, in. And the way I'm wanting to do this, I want us to target the hip flexors, not the groin. You can do that, but if you go too wide, you risk doing damage to your knee. So don't go too wide. Just go wide enough so that you have a feel in your hip flexors. Now, also highly recommended, I'm going to do this myself, 2 pillows. So to get into this, I'm going to place a knee on both these pillows. I'm going to get to the point where I've got a nice slide. Now, look, my legs are straight behind me, and I'm going to externally rotate my feet. And right here, I can feel something on my hip flexors a little bit, and then I'm just going to sort of sit my butt into it. I'm not going straight back. I'm sort of going back and down. And then just as soon as you get any kind of feeling, just sort of sit with it and let it relax and relax and relax. Okay, now come on out of this. Between blaster and this pose, your hip flexors are probably screaming at you. You're going to love it later, really. It makes a huge difference. And if you sit all day, okay, I'm sitting right here. This is a sitting position. I'm compressing my hip flexors. Your body adjusts to how you use it. So if you sit all day, these are tight. We just did two things that are the exact opposite of something you've been doing all your life. So guess what? Your body's like, what the heck? But by using your breath, you're retraining your body to say, this is normal. I need these muscles longer. So that's what we're doing. You are taking control of your body and rewriting the user manual. Okay, so now for this next one, you might want a little bit of pillow for your bum. I guess I'll use this one. It's a bit tall, but it'll do. Sitting position, feet together. Now, your knees may be way up. That's fine. Whatever you can. But what I want you to do is get your feet about 4 fists away from your groin. And get the edge of this pillow. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that the pillow is allowing gravity to help me. And then just relax into this. Okay, now to come out of this, put your hands on the ground and push up with your hands. You don't want to use your lower back muscles because you just stretch the heck out of them. All right, let's see. So now from here, actually, keep your feet together, put your hands behind you, and push your chest forward as you pull your shoulders back. So chest to sky and lean back. Okay, great. All right, now, next thing is wall. So come up to the wall, and luckily, got my yoga mat. You're going to want to have a non-stick thing going on here. So sitting against the wall, but not against the electrical outlet. I'm going to take my right foot. I'm going to lift it up and put it on my left knee. This is called thread the needle, but we're doing it against the wall. And it really hits the abductors, the abductors on the outside for me. You might put a pillow on this side. You can slowly bring this foot forward. I'm sorry, backward. If it's too tight, move the foot forward. If you want to tighten it, you can pull it up. All right, now let's come out. This is one of those asymmetrical poses. So my left side is a little bit tighter. Pull up, left ankle onto your right knee. Oof. Maybe we want to say that before I do it. Okay, and bring that leg out and point them both out. Just sort of shake them around a little bit. Okay, for this next one, I want you to lay on your back. So go ahead and scoot to the end of your mat. This is going to be a huge twist on your lower back. This is a big, big pose, and we're going to be in it for a while. But it is a lovely pose in which to luxuriate once you get used to it. Okay, so I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to hook it behind my left knee. Now that's fine. Love it. This is a great pose. You can also move your foot on the other side, and maybe you can move it down. Now, that's not where the stretch is. So whatever your leg is doing is kind of irrelevant. What's important is take your left hand outside of your right leg, lean to the side. Now we're getting to the big stretch on the back here. And allow your knees to go as far over. If you need to get a pillow because it's hard to hold, or even something like a bench, do that. Over time, it will stretch. But guess what? What happens is you sit all day, your front gets tight. So when you stand, and when I mean tight, I mean actually your muscles get shorter by the way you sit. So by sitting all day long, you're shortening the front, which means when you stand up, your front is pulling you forward. Your front is making you close. The muscles have tightened. And so your lower back takes the grunt of that. Okay, I don't actually want to do this pose for too long. I'm going to do it later maybe, but okay, now switch to the other side. Come back really, really slowly on this one. In fact, I'm actually, I don't, I, if I'm doing this for the long time, I wouldn't have made that mistake. Okay, so you've now been in the pose for a while. Now to come out of this, first thing, very carefully unwind your legs. Get your right leg so you can slide it all over the left leg and get your right leg on the ground. Put your right foot, sorry, foot on the ground, not leg, and then slowly turn over. Now, as you rest here, notice for me, it feels like my right side is arced, like there's nothing there. There's no tension. It's gone. It's a hole. It's lovely. Okay, so other side. Again, asymmetrical. We're going to do it twice. What that means, though, is that if you're really tight on one side, do it a minute longer. But if you're going to do that, do not avoid doing the other side. Um, it's dangerous to try to get back to balance through like absolute imbalance, all or nothing. So you do one side for 3 minutes, do the other side for four. 5 is fine. 6 is fine, but don't avoid doing the side that is looser. Okay, now again, to come out of this, unwind your legs, take your left foot and slide it down your right leg, put it on the ground. Now come on back onto your back. First, feel that left leg. Sorry, left that left back. Feel how loose it feels. Okay, swish your legs just back and forth a little bit, sort of get your back woken up. Whatever works. Be careful. Move really slowly. If you've got some tightness here, go really slow. Slow is healing. Fast is revealing. All right, now let's come on back. And wait, don't get up. What is it next? Ah, yes. Okay, now we need a wall. If you do not have a wall, here's a quick alternative for those of you who do not have a wall. But if you have a wall, I encourage you to use the wall for this one. It is actually this next one is my favorite pose, and I like this version of the pose. So one option is you put two blocks, say top of your mat, and start here, maybe here, but really start here. You can even do this, but that's a tough balancing act. Put your head between the blocks, shoulders, sorry, put your arms on the blocks. Now, this alone is not that interesting. Put your hands together, still not that interesting. The special sauce comes when you do this. Thumbs to between your shoulders. And now you're getting a nice stretch. Now, it's not the same stretch as if you do the wall, but this is still a really good stretch. And honestly, there's some places where I don't have a good wall, and so I would do this instead. You can do it up here as well. Careful, you can hit the ulnar nerve if you do this, if you're up here, so be careful. But this is again a good stretch. Now, for those of you who have access to a wall, okay, first of all, if you have a latex paint wall, you might want to do something like this. Okay, make your hands sticky. I'm gonna lay against the wall, head's almost touching the floorboard here. Gonna reach up the wall, hands equidistant, and then maybe a little bit wider than your shoulders, and I'm just gonna relax into it. Now this pose I'm gonna stay in for just a bit because I love this pose. So this pose, this is the first pose in this system where I had to come out because something psychological was going on. That is, I don't know, I was holding some kind of thing in my shoulders and it hit and I just had to get out of the pose. Only time it ever happened on this pose, but I was releasing some kind of somatic memory from this pose. So if you hold tension in your shoulders, which almost all of us do, or if you sit down all day and you hunch over a computer, or if you use a phone and you're looking down at your phone, you're going to hate this pose until you love it. But this is the pose you need. This is the self tough love you didn't know you needed. Oh, this is feeling awesome. Okay, now I'm going to come out of this. That's a short version of this pose, but that was nice. I got got some good feels on that one. Okay, now after coming out of this pose, put your elbows under your shoulders, and then I want you to push up and basically it's basically called turtle back. You're arching your back backwards. All right. Let's see what's next. Okay, now we're on the end stretch. Again, on your stomach. Take your right hand and arm and put it a little further away from your the body than your left. So right hand, arm in front of left. Take your right hand to the left and the left hand to your right. You want to get your elbows either together or even better, crossed. And now rest. It's an awkward pose at first. It's hard to, you might use a pillow under your chest, but once you get used to this pose, and once you learn how to breathe in this pose without snoring, it's very easy to fall asleep in this pose. So if you do this pose on your own, use a timer. Okay, now assuming time has come out, let's go and switch other way. Again, asymmetrical, we are doing it twice. And chin down. Okay, now let's come out as well. I'm actually really falling asleep. This is relaxing stuff. I mean, my body associates sleep with that pose. So, I mean, it's a good sort of association. Okay, so now um, the counter after that is forehead to the ground. Let's do that for just a second. Okay, so now come on back up to standing ground. I'm going to finish it out. Ah, yes, the pelvic floor stuff I did earlier, I mean to do at the end. Okay, so now, again, we're going to finish this with Wu Chi. And again, from Wu Chi, which means no separation of yin and yang, so singularity, we went into a bunch of different stuff and we're going to come back into a single point. So we're coming back to our center, to ourselves. Feet parallel, knees bent, sacrum down, tuck under. If you can, expose or open your hips. Fontanelle up, turn your hands in, Relax your sternum. Sorry, relax your chest, not your sternum. Into your pelvic floor. All right, now let's go ahead and take in clouds. So reach up, grab a ball of energy from the clouds, and pull that ball of energy down through and imagine it, visualize it lighting your skull, your throat, your chest, your abdomen, your hips, your waist, your hips, your thighs, kneecaps, goes through your feet all the way into the ground. And then while you're down here, go ahead and reach up and pull some green energy up from the cloud, up from the earth into your feet, comes up your legs. You see that green energy coming into your midsection, into your lower dantian, into your solar plexus, your mid dantian, up through your head. It comes out as willow leaves and trees branches coming out, folding out. Let's go ahead and get one more set of branches. So let's go ahead and reach into the ground as we slowly grab down. Do you know how far down you go isn't important. You go wherever you reach to is where the ground is. Grab some soil and pull it up, 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 up. Push up that green energy up through your scalp as you see more branches of your willow tree expand. All right, now shake ourselves back to awake, and class is over. Okay, that's the quick overview of the class. Okay, good first run. I'm going to be doing this several more times to get the thing just memorized in my head. I'll have notes better written than this, but doesn't matter. I still want to practice. Okay, so now time for just a little bit of actual stretching. And I already know what I want to do. So I did one against the wall. It's thread the needle. So thread the needle and look like this. Let's see. Is it like this? Yeah, like this. Is that right? Oh, like this. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm going to do, except I'm going to use the wall. So this is hitting me right here nicely and also here, but it's hard to hold. And notice I'm having to use strength to do that. I could do that, but again, I'm going to use the wall as a prop, and I'm going to get the exact same pose with just a hell of a lot less work. I'm going to go ahead and put some padding here, just because it'll be a little more comfortable. Okay, so left foot on the ground, right foot up. Wait, do I have my timer? There we go. I'm going to do this for 5 minutes, and it's going to absolutely wreck my abductors, my abductors outside, and also probably sort of the outside of my right leg. Here we go. Wait, oh, yeah, that's probably, oh, that's a good place to start. No, that's a little too much. There we go. Oh, ooh, wait, stop. Being a bit of a spaz. Okay, I'm going to put my little magic magnetic device on. There we go. Alexa, volume up. Access to her. So if I want to, I can add a little pressure here. Here's the thing. I'm not even 30. I'm just 30 seconds into the pose. There's no rush. I'm getting a really good stretch right now. There's nothing I need to do. The one thing I might consider doing is gently and very slowly moving side to side just to hit more of the overall muscle. Because So the muscle is formed of a bunch of things called sarcomeres. They're fibers. When you go for strength, they close up. When you relax, so if I can relax the muscle, then I'm actually, and I stay here for a long time, it'll permanently allow the tissue to be more relaxed. It reduces the resting tension. But you don't do the muscle, you are affecting individual sarcomeres. So you need to cover the whole muscle, and not all poses will cover all the muscle. I'm getting a bit of a weird feel on my right knee there. Gotta fix that. That's better. That'll work. Ooh, okay, there we go. I got rid of the problem in the muscle in the knee and it deepened the pose. Okay, that'll work. So you need to cover more of the muscle. And it's really the difference. It's kind of like so power builders or power lifters, they certainly are strong, and they're also doing a lot more right now. They're doing different neuro okay, stop. God, I'm making no sense. So training, nervous system training. If you can train your muscles, the fibers to work simultaneously, you'll have more explosive power. So a lot of what muscle training is training the fibers you have, the sarcomeres, to tighten up. Same thing with flexibility. Exact opposite, but same thing. So I'm going to do this. Ooh, and it moves it a slightly medially in more towards, so it's on the outside of my hip, but it came up or in more towards the middle, just a touch. So I'll leave myself there for a while. I'm gonna go back and forth and slowly kind of stretch the whole muscle deeper and deeper. But that's once you spend time actually feeling your muscle and really focusing in on it, you can do that. You don't need to do it at all. You can stay completely stable. Doesn't matter. As long as you have a good feeling of a stretch that you can maintain for several minutes, beautiful. I'm not going to play with my toenails on the video. Though I guess I'm okay talking about playing with my toenails. Oh man, my right leg is getting just okay. Here we go. Last minute. Yeah. Actually, I don't need to use my arm. I've got it nice and tight. Yikes. Now, this is another pose. This is also half pigeon. So if you're sitting in a chair, do this. It's a great way to get some good flexibility. You watching TV? Half pigeon. Love it. It's a great idea. Um, you'll get a little bit, and you can do it for 5, 10, 15 minutes. You're just sitting there watching TV, but remember to do both sides. And so if you do that, all of a sudden, if you're just watching TV, no problem. If you're already watching TV, spend some time stretching while you're watching TV. Mm. You let me, you let me scratch your belly? No, I didn't think so. Okay. Oh, wow. Ugh. Gotta stop there for a second. Okay, kitty, you're in the way. Sir, you, sir, are in the way. So, other side. You're fine. Oh, good. You're gonna move. Thank you, sir. You can come back, but I need that spot right there. That's for my foot. Also, this foot, this is the tighter side. Oh, yeah, yeah. Actually, I wonder if this was the pose that I've got my left heel or Achilles tendon is a bit tender. Wonder if it was this pose that did it. Mm. So right here in the hip flexor, this it's really it's really great for the hip. A recurring theme: discomfort and boredom. This is not comfortable. It's not entirely uncomfortable. It doesn't hurt, but it certainly is uncomfortable. I don't, my body doesn't want to do this, but I want my body to do this. My body will do what I ask it to if I am consistent. A lot of what we're doing is we're training our body and our nervous system through a consistent practice. So if you do this over and over again, your body adjusts, just like the front of your body has gotten shorter from your sitting all day long. You can get your body longer by doing the reverse. Oof, no, that's too much. Way too over. That's way too much leverage. This is a highly leveraged pose. So 3 minutes is a good amount of time in this pose. But since it's the hip, 5 minutes is even better. Mm. Mm. Whoa. Yikes. Oops. Sorry, Josh. Let me get you there. Forgot I was on that. I did it last night. I really want to do that again. Ah, let's do. I don't like what I'm doing with my right and left knee, actually. So I'm going to do this. That was about probably, I'm going to guess that was, what was it, a minute? Maybe two, 4 minutes of this. All right. And actually, I wasn't planning on doing it this way, but do. That was actually kind of comfortable, though. Actually, no, I won't go. I was doing this. Let's go and continue with that same foot position. No, I think I'm getting ligaments there. No, tendons rather. Oof, no. All right. I'm just trying this all kinds of messed up. I'm just gonna. Oh man, yeah, it was close to bad. All right. Right, I'm gonna do something on this other side, but we've been a little bit. Oof, man, it was. So let's keep this more. Yeah, that'll work. Well, I think that's enough for tonight.